What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm showcasing the best raid builds that you should build to defeat the upcoming 7-star Hydregion raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting my work by joining the PanFro Games membership below. Now, our next raid boss is 7-star Hydreigon with the Terra Poison, and his abilities Levitate because it only has Levitate. There's no other things that we can possibly debate on. Now, Hydreigon is a pretty good Pokemon. Has good defenses, 92 HP, 90 defense, and 90 special defense. So it's going to be relatively bulky. 98 speed is a really good speed tier, but it's not too fast, so we could outspeed it with some Pokemon, but it is going to be a fast threat. The big thing is 125 special attack is absolutely going to be the scariest stat. So you want to have Pokemon that have at least decent to amazing special defense. It does have 105 attack, but I really doubt it's going to have any physical attacking moves. Now, the ability Levitate is terrifying because we can't hit it with ground type moves, but there are 3 ways to remove the ability Levitate. At least 3 good ones. 1, skill swap. You can remove the ability and swap it, but I do think you can use a move called Gravity. Gravity makes it so Pokemon that Levitate lose the ability for 5 turns, and you can also use a move called Smackdown. Smackdown will make it so the Pokemon will hit the ground, and then Levitate is essentially gone. So we're going to be looking at those ways to remove Levitate to make this Pokemon much easier to handle. Now, I do think it's gonna have Dark Pulse and or Snarl for its dark type damage. I mean, Dark Pulse I think is an absolute lock, and Snarl will be its way to deal with special attackers by lowering their special attack stat. Then I do think it's gonna have some sort of Dragon Stab. Dark Pulse makes a lot of sense, but I can definitely see Breaking Swipe lowering the attack stat, and also it hits everyone in the raid, so that would be a pretty good raid-wide AoE. And then it doesn't actually know a good poison type move. So Terra Blast Poison will be scaling off the special attack stat, and that would just be what it would use for poison damage. So I think that's sort of a lock as well, unless it doesn't have a poison move at all. And then for coverage, I think Flamethrower makes a lot of sense. Flamethrower will allow it to hit steel types super effectively and pretty consistently. It also could have Earth Power there too, but I'm just going to lean on Flamethrower here. And lastly, I think Nasty Plot is the obvious setup move. I think we'll set up Nasty Plot at least one time, get that +2 special attack, and just be an absolute threat. Now for my predictions for the best raid builds, and the goal for these raid builds is so you can go online and win or just play by yourself solo. The raid has not come out yet, but we will be doing the raid live this week, November 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I think Groudon is going to be an excellent Pokemon for this raid with Terra Ground and the Shell Bell. Max attack, max special defense with an adamant nature. Now that's a really high attack stat with really good general bulk, and essentially we're going to use the move Smackdown. It's going to remove the Levitate, and then from there we can use Mud Slap turns 2 and turn 3, and then we can turn 4 pop off of a big Earthquake, and then we can start setting up some Swords Dance EQs and just try to win the raid like that. I do think because Groudon has a lot of good bulk and is going to do a lot of good damage, that is going to be an excellent Pokemon. And of course, you can get this Pokemon within the DLC, the Blueberry Academy. So definitely a good choice for those who don't have home access. Now, Landorus is going to be really solid. This is Landorus Therian with the one with a really high attack stat, Terra Ground with the Shell Bell, max attack, max special defense with an adamant nature. It does have Intimidate, which I don't think really going to matter in this raid, but it is nice either way. And the exact same thing you did with Groudon here. Smackdown, turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3, Mud Slap, then Terra Ground, Earthquake, or you can, Terra Ground, Swords Dance, and you're going to be good to go. You do have less bulk than the Groudon. However, you are going to be doing some big damage. So just keep that in mind. Very good Pokemon, too. I think Ursaluna, regular Ursaluna is going to be a great choice here with the Terra Ground and the Shell Bell. Now, I like regular Ursaluna more than the Blood Moon because Blood Moon actually has worse special defense, and I think special defense is very important here. So we're going to be running Terra Ground with the Shell Bell, max attack, max special defense. This should be an adamant nature, but I guess it doesn't really matter that much here. The ability is Guts. I don't think Bulletproof's going to matter. I don't think it's going to have any bullet attacks, but if you just happen to get burned by a flamethrower or something like that, then your attack stat is going to go up. And it's going to be very similar. Smackdown, and then you can spam Earthquake. You can use Swords Dance to buff, use Leer to lower the defense. It's going to be pretty decent in general. Next up is Gallade, which is a very interesting Pokemon. So we're going to go Terra Psychic and Shell Bell. And since we're Psychic and Fighting, we're actually neutral to dark damage. Now, I'm running max attack, max special defense with an adamant nature, I like the ability Sharpness for the consistency. Sharpness increasing the damage of slicing moves by 50%. Psycho Cut is going to have a high crit chance, but also is going to be doing 50% more damage, so the base power is going to be 105. Now, you could put on the ability where when you get hit by a dark type move, your attack stat goes up by 1. I think that's also pretty good, but we do have the move Swords Dance, which will just give us a +2 attack boost. We have Light Screen for extra special defensive bulk. And then we do have Life Dew. If you are playing online, it'll heal you and your allies by 25%. There's a lot of decent moves on this Pokemon, so you could switch to something else for the final move, but I do think at the end of the day, that Life Dew will probably be a really decent option. Lastly, I think Rage Ape has a shot at being decent here. Now, Rage Ape with the Terra Ghost and the Shell Bell. Now, we're going to be neutral to Dark until we turn into a Terra Ghost, but I think by then we'll be able to just pop off and do a lot of damage with Rage Fist. Now, the item Shell Bell and the ability Defiant is going to be really important. If for some reason the Hydreion does have Snarl and or Breaking Swipe, if it lowers our stats, our attack stat is going to go up by 2. So if we get hit by a Snarl, that's going to lower our special attack by 1. We get a +2 attack boost, and we can really utilize that to do a ton of damage. I'm running max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, but I think max special defense would be more optimal. And it's a very simple build. So turn 1, you go for Focus Energy, and then for the rest of the raid, you just spam Rage Fist. You could go for a Bulk Up to get an additional attack boost. Or you could go for a turn 1 Screech as well. But I do think Focus Energy, Rage Fist, 50% chance of critting is going to be the way to victory with this Pokemon. And now for some special attackers. And I think Galarian Slowking, even though we are weak to Dark, is going to be a great pick here with the Terra Psychic and the Shell Bell. Max special attack, max special defense with a Modest Nature. And we're going to be running a stored power set. Now, if you don't want to do stored power, you could replace this with Psychic and run the other moves. But we have Nasty Plot to boost our special attack to do more damage. We have Amnesia to boost our special defense by 2 as well. So this is going to be very important. We want to boost up our special defense in the beginning and then pop off with some Acid Spray to lower that special defense. And then we can pop off with some big stored power or psychic damage. This one could be a little bit risky to run just because we are weak to Dark, but we do have a lot of great bulk in general. Next up is going to be Landorus, but the special variant, the regular incarnate farm with the Terra Ground and the Shell Bell. Max special attack, max special defense with a Modest Nature. And essentially, we're going to be doing the same thing. Smackdown to bring it to the ground. Mud Slap while it's on the ground. Earth Power to just do big damage. And then we're going to use Calm Mind. Now, you also get Nasty Plot, so we could use Nasty Plot instead. But I do like Calm Mind giving that special defense boost because we don't have the most bulk in the world. So +1 special defense could really mean the difference between winning and losing, especially if the Hydreion does happen to have something like Nasty Plot. And of course, Arceus makes their way here. Terra Ground Arceus with the Earth Plate, max HP, max special attack of a Modest Nature. This is going to be your standard Arceus set, except the big difference is we have the move Gravity. Now, Gravity is going to make it so that for 5 turns, the Hydreion is going to be on the ground. Essentially, it's going to be like a terrain effect. So, start off the raid of Acid Spray, and then recover whenever you need some HP back, and then Terra Ground Gravity, and then pop off with Judgment, which is going to turn into a ground type move, and you'll probably just win the raid like that, and it'll be super easy and chill. Now, lastly, we have a couple supporters, and I think Mew is just the best supporter in general. Terra Steel with Shell Bell, max HP, max special defense with a plus special defense nature. The reason why I love Mew is, one, it does get Smackdown, so you can use Smackdown, help out all your ground type attackers, and we have Mud Slap. Mud Slap will lower that accuracy and also build up that Terra Charge. Fake Tears to lower that special defense, which is nice, and then Life Dew to heal you and your team up by 25% every single turn. Now, there is some good replacements. You can put Snarl to lower that special attack as well. I believe Skitter Smack also does the same thing too. Light Screen's another excellent move. So feel free to mess around with your Mew and just put on what you think is going to be the most important for your raid group. I can definitely see Smackdown being replaced for something like a Snarl, though. That's probably what I would replace, considering a lot of the attackers I'm using will have their own Smackdown or Gravity use. Now, the last one I'm going to recommend is going to be Clefairy with the Eviolite and Terra Steel. The ability Friend Guard is going to reduce damage dealt to allies by 25%, which is going to be great. Max HP, max special defense, and Eviolite is going to increase your defenses by 50% as well. There is no attacking move on this Clefairy. It is essentially going to be like Mew, but a little bit worse, but still pretty decent. We got Life Dew for HP, Gravity to make it so the Hydreion will be on the ground for 5 turns, Fake Tears to lower that special defense stat to help your special attackers on your team, and then Light Screen to give everyone essentially a free +2 special defense boost for 5 turns on the field. So let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you plan on building to defeat this raid, and let me know any other great builds that you think will be worth using, because hey, if it's really good, maybe I'll feature it on my live stream this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing the raid live. I'm going to try to test out the best solo builds, and I hope to see you there. Anyways, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a good one.